Jacob Bernard-Docker is with us in anticipation of his first game against his former team in Ottawa. Welcome. Great to see you here.
Thank you. You too.
It's what kind of emotions, I guess, right now going into this one tonight, which is also your first Sabres home game?
Yeah, I mean, it'll definitely feel a little weird seeing those guys on the other side of the ice, but I'm excited. I think maybe the media likes to make a little bit more out of it than it really is, but it'll be a lot of fun playing against those guys.
I know that's a big money on the board type game, the first time you play a former team or you're back in your hometown or all of that. Don't get bullied into putting more than you feel comfortable with, because you want to be able to play free of worries. I'm just telling you, I got bullied a couple of times, and then I'm in net, and I'm like, that's going to cost me a lot of money if we win this game. But anyway, is this still part of a fun tradition around the locker room, the money on the board type thing?
Yeah, for sure. I think, anytime you play your former team or you get traded, whatever it is, you want to win, against your former team, obviously. So, like I said, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to it.
You got your first couple of points out of the way in the last game.
Yeah.
So how did the trip go for you?
Yeah, I mean, I've only played 2 games to this point, so just looking to build on those 2 games, and I'm not going to be putting up 2 points every game. That's definitely not my my role, but I'm just looking forward to being trying to be solid back there and moving pucks and being hard to play against.
So we saw you joining the rush, like that nice assist to Dahlin. You're joining the rush, and then you're like, "Ooh, I'm going to curl back." Is that something that's part of your game, like the skating and the getting up on the ice, or are you more on the defensive side and trying to stay steady that way?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're going to see me like roaming the offensive zone that much, but I'm definitely not afraid to jump up in the rush. I think I have the skating ability to do that when the time calls for it. So, I think obviously playing with Dolls or Owen Power and.
Did you have a good relationship with Claude Giroux, by the way?
G-Money, keep going.
He just took some pictures, so you may want to check Instagram or something. Yeah,
I didn't even see him there. That's hilarious.
I got to play with Claude in Philly, so his first NHL road trip, I tried to take care of him.
That's awesome.
I don't know that I did a good job, but that's okay. I tried my best.
Did you actually have those now, like looking back at your start with Ottawa? Were there some relationships that even in this short period of time you go, I'm really lucky to have had that person kind of around me when I started?
100%. I think so many of those guys I grew up with, like from the time I got to Belleville the first 2 years, and then Ottawa the kind of last 2. Got really close with some of those guys, and lived with Ridley Gregg, Jake Sanderson, and so I just have a lot of really good memories, and I think I definitely learned a lot from my time there.
So, I mean, now you're coming over here, and you talk about like Owen Power, Rasmus Dahlin. What's that like? Because, I mean, Ottawa, Thomas Chabot, Jake Sanderson, they still have some really good players, but I think Dahlin is so unique. So when you have the puck and you look and you see 26 with a stick up in the air calling for it, do your eyes kind of come really big like a cartoon and say, I better put it in a sweet spot?
Yeah, I was watching my clips from the first game, and I looked him off one time in the slot and then got the shot block, so I figured I better not do that again. And
but he's not the type of guy that's going to go up and say, hey, kid, I'm open.
No, but obviously, like a player like that, like you want to get the puck into his hands, like in the yellow zone. Like I think I have the ability to contribute to offensively, but like I obviously want to put the puck in his hands, let him do his thing, and kind of just be a safety net.
Hockey family, did you know this?
No. Oh, yeah. Well,
your siblings are also very active in the game right now. Do tell.
Yeah, so my sister's out at Mount Allison, New Brunswick, and then my brother plays at Bentley in Boston. So
nice.
So they have a big game coming up, right?
Yeah, they
because
play.
My kid plays at Army. So, and Connor Hasley, their goalie at Bentley, is a Buffalo kid. So,
okay.
So I've kind of kept up. So now they drew BC, right, in the first round?
Yeah, they got BC, yeah.
That's going to be a tough matchup. But,
For sure.
They got the goalie to do it. Like, if he stand on his head, it could be a different.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like you look at the basketball tournament, like, usually those 16 seeds are always winning, but I think hockey's so different. Just anything can happen in one game. So, hopefully they play well and pull it out.
So the plane trip. So I mean, you're new on the team. Is it hard to find a seat, or take part of the card game, or finding where you fit on the team? Because that was a longer trip back. Like you went out west with the team, so some playing time. So what was that like for you? And what did you do? Where did you find your spot with the team on the plane?
Yeah, the guys were pretty good at just kind of showing me and Josh, what seats were open. So we're kind of near the back, and I'm not much of a card player on the plane, so I usually just relax and watch a show or read, or just shoot it with some of the guys. So
one of the few hockey players that reads. Not a lot of them do. So what do you read?
What are you reading?
Right now I'm reading. It's called I think it's called 101 Essays That'll Change the Way You Think, or something like that.
Okay.
So I like to read those kind of books, just the mental side. And obviously in hockey, like maybe as a fan you don't see it as much, but there's so much that goes into just being like mentally ready and mentally sharp through an 82 game season. So I like to kind of just read and try and pick up on a few things.
101 essays that, okay.
It kind of scares me, the word essays. Like, I was not the greatest student in the world, so, but yeah, and nor am I the most avid reader. But what series are you watching, if anything?
Right now I'm actually watching, it's called Yellow Jackets.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cheesy, I'm not going to lie. It's about a team of high school soccer girls that get in a plane crash and just have to deal with the wilderness and stuff. But
oh yes, I did see the trailer for that.
Yeah,
so,
the third season's not as good as the first two so far. So
I've watched my fair share of cheesy TV shows, so
and recycled much of that content on the air.
A lot of it. Yes, I always bring up movies to Duffer, and he's like, "I'm not a movie guy," but I always.
Well, it's just I don't retain them the way you do. That's the thing. Yeah. Now I'm fascinated. You're from Canmore, Alberta, by the way. If people didn't know, but this market's pretty good for seeing a lot of what airs on Hockey Night in Canada. It was the hometown, right, for this year's Hockey Day in Canada, and. For those that don't know, like, how would you describe? I can't say Canmore without saying one of the most beautiful places in the world.
I think that's the perfect way to put it. I mean, it's hard to beat.
Yeah.
Growing up in the mountains, always doing a lot of biking, hiking, and kind of using the mountains to your advantage, and just having fun. And it was an unreal place to grow up, and hockey's definitely getting bigger there, I think. So it's cool to see.
Did you ski as a kid?
Yep, downhill ski, yeah.
There wasn't a lot of skiing in Ottawa. We got some good, you go down to Ellicottville here, you go an hour south, and you get some good skiing. Don't do it in season.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that that's something that you want to do. But so ski or snowboard, this or that, ski or snowboard, which one do you prefer?
I was a skier. Yeah, I never snowboarded. My dad and brother did, so.
I see when I grew up skiing, the snowboarders just started to come, and it was like you hated them because they would mess up everything. Yeah. So I think it's more the other way now. There's probably more snowboarders than skiers, but I'm a skier as well. Duffer, did you snowboard? Or?
Well, I went to college in Calgary. And
oh, really?
So Canmore is just, for those that don't know, just west of Calgary. Did not ski at all. Until within the last couple of years, finally tried it for the first time, and I love it. Now I'm mildly filled with regret for not doing so in the Rocky Mountains, but there's still time to do just that. So how did the three of you, like your brother and sister, become so entrenched in the hockey world, and what was your path kind of together? Because you're not really that far apart in age.
Yeah, I mean, my dad used to build us backyard rinks. I think that's what really started it. Me and my brother Seth used to always, put Island in net and shoot on her, and she didn't even end up being a goalie, I think, because she hated it so much, and we would shoot on her. So, but I think that's just how it all started, and then played minor hockey in Canmore, and then kind of started going a little bit farther towards Calgary as I grew up, and some of the midget and bantam teams kind of got farther and farther away.
Did you play with any other guys that have made it to the NHL like you?
Like in minor hockey?
Yeah, and when you got it to a little higher level in Calgary area and stuff like that.
Yeah. Spring teams, I guess, probably mainly.
Okay.
Ty Smith, played on a bunch of spring teams with him.
Because I was fascinated.
Those are the super teams, right? The spring teams. When
But remember when Vegas had Aiden Hill and Logan Thompson, and they had played together in Calgary as kids? It was like, come on, what are the chances? So.
No, what are the odds, Duffer? Yes. What are the odds? Okay, quickly, you are probably best to give us a little knowledge into the Sens game right now, their systems. How do you attack them? How do you defend against them? How long have you spent with Lindy Ruff trying to break that down? Like your scouting report has to be really good.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely know a lot about, I guess, the individual players, right? I think, honestly, a lot of the league now is it's a lot of the same systematical stuff.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just who can execute better on a nightly basis. And
I like that you said that, because Mitch Marner was on TSN yesterday talking about Scott Lawton, and he said, well, he's got to learn the system. It's pretty hard to learn the systems I'm like, the systems are the same pretty much everywhere. There's not a lot of changes. Even for you, like, did you feel like there was a big change when you came here, or the systems were similar?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of similarities. There's definitely a few differences. Like, maybe there's a tweak in the D zone where instead of the D man releasing, it's the center or whatever it is, and a slightly different neutral zone forecheck, stuff like that. But I think it's stuff as a player that, like, at this level you catch on to pretty quick for the most part.
And if you don't, well,
yeah.
Get out of here.
Jacob, thank you for all the time today, and have a great one tonight.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.